I want you to pay close attention to everything that will be discussed in this video because it's really going to help you in your graphic design career. Yes, it's going to help you. It's the basics of this application that we'll be using. And I believe all of us, we have downloaded the app, this app called Pixellab. Hope we have downloaded it. So we are going to be working with Pixellab in this class. So let's get started. I will just open this. When you open the Pixellab, this is the default, default interface that will be brought to you. And then we have on the upper side here, we have the, let's call this, the top bar, like that. Let's call the other one the bottom bar. So let's look at these bars, one after the other. Let's look at the functions therein. We have in the first side here, we have my projects. My project. This is a simple English. My project means where your works, where your designs, where your projects are saved. If I click on my project, it will show me a list of the things that I've designed with this application, so I can have access to them again, edit them, do all kinds of things with them. Here you see something like PLP. What does that mean? That's the extension name for this, for the file type for Pixellab. For pictures, we have JPG. For music, we have MP3. Those that are familiar with Photoshop design, for Photoshop we have .psd. For Corridor we have .crd. For PDF files we have .pdf. So this is also the extension name for this application. And so this is all about project. Let's get to the next one. I'll just back this. And then we have the next one here is default. We have the defaults. These are the themes that was put by the Pixellab creatives. These are the themes. You can just pick any one of them, but this is a default. The moment you open it, let's get to the next one. The next one, this A. The A in graphics design, A in any program or any software or any application, mostly means text. The A means text. And then so I just clicked on A, and then it's showing me all of these options. We're going to explore these options one after the other. But before we go, I want to delete this text. To delete this text, you already see here, we have a button that says delete. So I'm going to press that. It's going to delete the text. Note something, that when you go back to A, it's no more bringing the options. So now the option will automatically change when an element is selected on the workspace here. If nothing is selected, this is what it will show. So because nothing is selected, nothing is there, so it's telling me I have to add elements. And the first sign is a plus sign, the other one is a code sign. Clicking on the plus sign, you are going to have a new text here. A new text here that you can edit either by double tapping on the text or clicking on or tapping on edit here. So I can double tap on the text and then I will be able to edit it, or I can click on edit here and the same thing is the same function. So let me just write free smartphone graphics design. Then I'll click OK. See, it has just brought what I've typed. So that's the function of edit. And then if I want to delete it, I've already done that. What is the function of copy? Copy simply means duplicate, that is, you make an element, you duplicate an element. Yes, copying what you already have somewhere to another place. If I click on it, it will show me another text, because this was what I selected before. If I click copy again, if I touch copy again, it will still go to another text. So let me delete these, and let's just skip, sorry, let's just skip one. So, and then the next thing is that we have to front to back. We're coming to that. The next thing is position. Position deals with the alignment of the text or an element. Any element. It can be picture, it can be shapes, it can be anything, it can be lines, it can be anything, it can be text. So it's the movement rather. So I can move this to the left. We have the left button, we have the right button, we have the top button, and then we have the down button. So I can move this anywhere I want with these buttons, and then I can adjust the length at which they are moved, per click, per touch. See, it moves faster because I've moved by 20 pixels. So that is that about position. Let's get to relative position. Relative position deals with accurate alignment of an element. Accurate alignment. What I mean by accurate alignment is that it aligns your element based on the workspace that you already have. So it defines the alignment of your element. Let me keep this somewhere around here. Now watch as I use each of the button and see what they work for. So if this is here and I click the first one, let's start with the first one. The first one will place it to the right side. Then the extreme last one at the top column, we place it at the right side. The first one places at the left, the other one at the right, and then the next one places it at the top. This one places it at the bottom. This one places it in the middle, and this one places it in the middle. So if you want your element to be at the center of your workspace area, you can just click this one, and this one, and the other one. So if you click the two, your element will be aligned at the center, of your workspace. See this? So it's already at the center. That's what relative position works for. And then we have size. I can increase and reduce the size. You can use the buttons here, the plus and the minus button, and then you can drag this line to increase and decrease it. And then the next is we go to padding. We don't need padding for now. Don't let us talk about padding. So let's get to color. Color is simple. It means you want to change the color of an element, whether a shape, a text, even picture, even anything. Just change the color. You can use color here. See, the moment we clicked on color, and then always remember that you have to click on the element you are editing before you do all these things. So let's get back to color. You click on color, you can change it to red. These are the colors that are already on the Pixellab. So you can click any color. You can add your color in case the color you are looking for is not here. You just click on plus sign, and then it will bring you here. You can drag to get your correct color. Okay, I'm looking for something like gold. Does this look like gold? I think gold. I don't know if this, I think this looks like gold. Somehow. Not really, but somehow. So that's that about the color. You use this, to drag the color to a suitable place. And then another thing I want us to look at here before we leave this place is the these three, you know, these three boxes. The first one works for, the color you have picked gradient to white. And then the next one is the color you have picked gradient to black. And then the last one is the color you have picked gradient to transparency. If you want it to be transparent, you can use the C, that the shade fades off with this line. See from here, it fades off like this. Yeah, so that's what this works for. And then the moment you are done, you can click on OK. So let's continue. And then okay, we still have an option here named gradient. This is gradient. You can use gradient. Gradient means combination of two or more colors, you know, together. When you combine two colors together on an element, that's what gradient means. Let's click on gradient and see what it looks like. These are gradients we have here: black and white, black and white, black and white. These are gradient, two colors, two colors, two colors, two colors. This is another gradient. I love this. This is a gradient. This is a gradient. So you can, as well as the plain color, you can add your gradient to. But here, this is how it works. You have to click on which of the gradient you're working with. We have to note here. You click on whichever one and ensure that the bottom of whichever one you have clicked is highlighted with orange, just like this. I want you to watch the button as I try to do it, just like something like that. It's highlighted with orange. If I click on the left one, you see the highlighter has turned to the left. If I click on this one, it has turned to the right. It defines the color. So let's click on the first one and then you go to color option here. Let's click on that. So where here you can set your color shade to whatever, two shades you'll be working with. Okay, let me say brown, 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 brown. It doesn't look like this, look like brown. Okay, let's pick this. Let's say this is brown, and then I want brown and what? Then we have to click the next one, the left hand side, and click color again. Brown hand, brown hand, brown hand, brown hand, yellow. Is that a good combination? Wow, it's good. So brown and yellow, you can just work with this, and then the moment you are done, you click OK. So that is that about gradients, and let's just move on. Here with color, you can define, the text. If you want to change the color of a particular text and not touch the other, you just have to drag this to that text and then change the color. You see, it's only free that is changed. But let's continue. I hope this is not boring, because we have to do this if you will be working with this app at all. We have texture. We are not doing that now. We have opacity. Opacity divines the transparency of a particular element. If I drag this to minus, it will fade with with the position. See, it's fading off. So I may decide that I want the text to show faintly at the back, and I want one to show faintly in the front. So we use opacity for that. Okay, this picture, I want it to show faintly at the background. Use opacity for that. So let's move on. We have rotate. Rotate, as it means, is to rotate a particular element. This will rotate it clockwise. This rotates anti-clockwise. Then when you are done with your rotation, always make sure, okay, the moment you are no longer rotating, you can click on this to get it back to its default position. And it will go back to its default position. We have masking. Masking, you can just play around masking and do whatever you like with it. I can mask two objects together. I have masked this now. Actually, what this works for, you can just play around it. Let me just do something with it. Okay, I have cut the image now. So let's go to copy and go back to masking. Where is masking? Oh, sorry. Masking, mask, and then I'll click on out. So and I can just position this together again, and it will look like I have not done anything with it. And then I can just change the style of that one, and then it will look so different. I can change the color. You see, This is what maxing does. You can use this is what maxing works for rather. You can use this for text as well. You can use it for text as well. So you can use it for shapes, you can use it for anything. Whew, sorry. I have to drink water. I've been talking for a while. Not I'm sorry. So let me just continue. Then let's get to font. Let me just take this. Notice what I've pressed here. It's called undo. If you have done something and you are no longer interested in what you have done, you can just click on it, this button, to undo whatever you have done. So let's continue. We have font. The next one, font. Here you can change the font of the text you have used, you have typed. You can just pick anything. These are fonts, that was installed on this app by the developers. So the moment you are done with the font, you click the fonts that you want and then you click OK. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me undo this so that we're no longer working with mask. So let's go back to font. Click on any font and then click OK. You see it has changed it. And then you can go to style. Style is just to bolding. This B will bold, this I will make it italic, U will underline it. And then if you are not comfortable with any of it, you can just click on the T cancel here. It will go back to its normal. We have the curve. The next one is curve. Curve, as it is to curve a particular text. It is curving, and it's curving to the bottom side, curving upward. So you can just play around all of this, and the moment you are not comfortable with any of what you have done, you can just click on this reset button, to reset it. And then we have this is turned to my hand. And then we have the next one to be background. You can put a background on a text. You can put a background on a text, and then you can edit the background. I can change the background to be yellow. See, the text has background now. I can use gradients, and we have talked about gradients in the other button. So, and then you have background here. Left padding. Left padding will give you space between the background and the text to the left. Right padding, space between the background and the left and the text to the right. Top padding to the top, and then bottom to the bottom. So that's how to. And then you can change radius. Radio curves the edges of the background. You see. So this is what background does. And then we have align. Align is for text. The first is align to the left. The next one is to the center, and the last one to the right. Let's use center to align the text to whichever position you have clicked. Yes, to center. Center is all right for this. And then we have spacing. Spacing will increase, the line between words or letters. The spaces between words or letters, rather. So if I drag this note now, notice that letters is highlighted. So if I drag this note now, it will increase the spaces between the letters. That's what it works for. Let me reduce the size and do something with this. Maybe something like this. It's too small. Sorry. Okay, let's just use this as an example, and let's go back to spacing and click on words and increase it. It will space, between words. To space between words. So that's what spacing is all about. And the next one is what? Line spacing. Line spacing means when words that are not on the same line. On the same line. Okay, these words now, look at this sentence. It's not on the same line. The words are not on the same line. So if I use line spacing will increase the the line between, the two words. The first one, as I drag this now, you see what is happening. So that's what line spacing does. Let me just set this. And then the next thing is stroke. Stroke works with, let me keep this to a word. Sorry. Let me keep this to a word so that we'll be able to see what we are working with. Stroke deals with the outline of an element, but now we are working with text. So if you click on stroke, you have to enable it to be able to use it and change the color of the outline of this element to, I've just changed that to red now, to white. Change it to any color. So you can change it to any color depending on the color that suits your work. White is fine here. So you can use gradient to as outline. So there's nothing that you can do with this application. So and then we have stroke width. When you scroll down, stroke width deals with the width of the outline. If I increase this now, see the width is increasing. That's what stroke width deals with. Let's get to the next one. The next one is shadow. Shadows an element, as the name implies. Shadows an element. This is the opacity, that is the transparency of that shadow. And then this blur radius. Blur radius deals with the size, of the shadow. As I increase it, see the shadow increases. And then we have the offset. Offset X means it will move it horizontally. It will move the shadow horizontally, whether to the left or to the right. Let's get this back to 0. And offset Y moves it to the bottom, to the top, like this. So you can just play your way around this app and then you get to discover so many things. Then we have the inner shadow. Inner shadow, this one is outer shadow, and the next one, this one is this one is outer and this is inner. Just simple. Instead of putting the shadow outside the element, it will put it inside the element. That's what it means. It's black already. Let's try and choose another color. You see the shadow. The shadow is showing inside that element. So that's what inner shadow means. And then we have emboss. Emboss makes it look like, ooh, this is not what, okay. You have to, if you encounter something like this while you click emboss, you have to resize. It has returned to, sorry. You have to resize whatever you are working with for it to show well. Let's get back to emboss. You can do so many things with this emboss. You can change the intensity, like the how dark and how light it is. You can change the ambient light. Ambient light moves with angles. You can change the bevel level. Why is this not work? Okay, because it's black. Let's try and change the color and see. This video is getting long and I want to end it now. This video is really getting long. So okay, this is ambient. This is a bevel level. Okay, specular hardness. And this bevel level. Bevel level defines, the look at the tip of the tip of the text. Look at what happens to the tip of the text when I increase this. Look at what happened. You see? So that's what it works for. And let's get to the next one quickly. We have perspective changes the, just work with stretching of an element with angles. I can just stretch this now. Sorry, you have to enable this before you use it. So okay, just, you see, this is what perspective works for. Perspective, this is what it works for. Something like this. So what he has done it. So that's what perspective works for. Okay, you can use that for text as well. Sorry, for shapes and all of that as well. And then we have rotation, 3D rotation. 3D rotation rotates, the other rotation that we talked about the other time rotates clockwise and anti-clockwise. But this one can rotate, by flipping. By flipping x-axis, it will flip it to the x-axis. Look at what it's doing. And then this one will flip it to the right. This is what flipping means. This is what 3D rotation means. So let's get to the next one. We have 3D text. We can turn this text to a 3D text by enabling, this. Notice what happened. Notice what happened to this text when I enable it. You see a bevel at the back of the text, which you can increase the depth here, the depth of the bevel. See, you can change the color here, the color of the bevel. This is auto. You can change the color to anything you want. I can pick black, I can pick red, I can pick anything. So, but let's just keep this at auto. And then you go to rotation. This is a rotation. You can rotate your bevel. You see? Oh my. Oh my. This is, you can just play around this app and you will not exhaust the things that are here. That's all about 3D text for now. And then we have 3D shadow. 3D shadow deals with, shadow in 3D. The first shadow we worked with will give the shadow to the element or the text at the back, like it will cover the whole thing. But this one will shadow it like a light is flash on it, and then the shadow will reflect under something like this. You can change the opacity, you can change the blur radius. I talked about the blur radius the other time. You can expand the shadow, you can reduce it. You can play around this app, so that's cool. And then we have reflection. This is reflection here. Reflection, like it reflects your element. I just reflected this now. Free. See. So that is that about the text options. We have, sorry, what's this? We are done with the text option now. So let me stop this video so that it won't get too long, and I will continue in the next video. Thank you. Hope it's not boring. Hope you're learning something. Make sure you are learning something though. Don't mind the long video. It's worth it. Yeah, thank you for your time. See you in the next video. Love ya.